Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 9 of Down Under. Today is going to be a little bit different than what we're normally used to. We're not going to be talking so much about sports. Today, we're going to be talking about life and succeeding in life and what you can do in order to help succeed in life. Sam recently has started reading a book that gives us 3 C's that can help you take steps to help you succeed in life. I'm Jake.
I'm Sam.
I'm Hassan.
All right, so let's get into it. So this book, it's called Relentless by Tim Grover. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Grover. So Tim Grover came up as a guy that really had no experience as a, what's the word? Not physical therapist, more of a trainer, I should say, an athletic trainer in the professional world. He pretty much emailed the Bulls over and over and over again to get him in, or just trying to send him letters to get him in so that he can become Michael Jordan's personal trainer. It sounds ridiculous, but it eventually worked. He became Michael's trainer. And Michael knew that he needed a trainer to take the next step in his career. So this guy then has a great career with Jordan, pretty much you've seen Michael Jordan's career. He's got 6 rings. And helps Jordan, and then eventually helps out other guys like Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade. So this guy talks about what it means to be relentless. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. The word relentless in sports is used to describe the most intense competitors and achievers imaginable. Those who stop at nothing to get to the end result. And the end result is usually a championship. In sports, being relentless is measurable by victories and trophies and championships and rings. In real life, being relentless is a state of mind that can give you the strength to achieve, to survive, to overcome, to be strong when others are not. So he just talks in depth about, he obviously talks more about these, sports icons, but this can be put out in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
The 3 C's that Jake were talking about was a cooler, a closer, and a cleaner. A cooler in life, his goal is just to be good. A closer in life, his goal is to be great. And a cleaner is to be unstoppable. So if you want to look at it from a sports aspects, and going back to that, a cooler will have a couple great at-bats in a season. A closer will be, maybe a great stint of games. A closer will have a great couple of seasons, and a cleaner will have a fantastic and amazing career. So that's just 3 different ways to look at it. I guess, how do we want to start this off? We want to just talk more.
We're taking that and we're going to address it into our aspect of daily life. Like, what can we do? Because maybe some of us are cooler, but we want to be a cleaner.
Right. I mean, the end goal of this, guys, is everyone starts off somewhere.
Yeah.
Depends on how you're raised. So, like, some people are raised just to be cleaners straight off the bat. And cleaners have an attitude of not giving a shit what people think, and they're going to do what they need to do.
Period.
To get where they need to be and to be successful. And there, like we've said in podcasts before, there are plenty of different definitions of the word successful. Some people may see it as winning championships every year for a professional athlete. Others may see it as, I
put this amount of money on the table for my family
Exactly.
every year. I'm able to buy this for my significant other.
Exactly.
I'm able to do this to help train my body for this certain aspect or
Right.
something of that nature.
Right.
Well, okay, so let's just take it from there and be like, what do we see? Let's just go to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see Jake as a cleaner. Last year before, I could probably see him as a cooler and closer.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I think something clicked in him. Where he's like, I can't.
I also want to point this out. He also talks about in the book that these guys are all cleaners, right? But they're not cleaners when it comes to their home life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that, like, these guys are assholes all the time. Because a lot of normal people see, obviously you see the greatness that Michael and Kobe and Dwayne had.
Yeah.
But you don't see the
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. And when people see the behind the scenes, like, oh, God, this guy's an asshole. This guy's a dick. Well, they did that because, they didn't care what people thought about him. And that's what made him so great. And it kind of put a fear into other people that, hey, I'm going to get this done. So before we get into all of what we see each other as, can I tell the 5 things that that he talks about that like makes people cleaners. So the first one is to take responsibility. So if you aspire to be a cleaner, taking responsibility for anything in your life, you're always in charge. You always got this. You always own it. Whatever it is, you're taking responsibility. That's number one. Number two, drop your excuses. Cleaners never make excuses. So like I often catch myself sometimes. It's easy to make excuses in life. And if you make a mistake, don't sugarcoat it. Don't look for excuses. Don't blame other people. You own it. Because when you step up and you own it, that's what people love to see. 3, stop looking for secrets, tricks, or shortcuts. If you know, in life there are really no shortcuts. If you try to take a shortcut, life hits you back. It says, nope, you're going this way. And that's the one way. And then 4, do the work. Obviously, you have to be there to do the work. A lot of people, I think now you see in this country, just sit there and don't do the work at all. And then in 5...
Especially in this day and age, they have the excuse to sit at home, not go to work. Yeah. Literally, physically not
just
go to work.
Just getting a paycheck.
This country, I think, not only in this country, but I think of the world in general, there's been a lot more coolers than there are cleaners.
Yeah.
And the people that are cleaners, that are successful at what they do, they get constantly bashed by people because of they're so successful in one certain aspect of life.
That. Like,
and a lot of that has to do with people being so jealous of what they have and what they do.
Like what the thing is with Jeff Bezos, everybody talks about Jeff Bezos that he can give like everybody in the world $1.
Yep.
But he won't. Well, that's his money.
Yep.
He earned that money.
He earned it. And I'm sorry, but if I had Bezos money, of course there'd be things that I'd give to if I saw him important.
He probably does, but we don't know because we don't need to know.
Right. But I'm not going to sit there and hand out to people that don't want to work.
Well, there's a difference between net worth and money that you actually have in your pocket.
Yep. Yes.
And I think a lot of people just see Jeff Bezos' worth. His net worth is whatever $1 billion.
That's his entire assets.
Yeah, that's all of his assets,
liquidated.
His stocks. None of it's liquidated, and he doesn't have however many $1 billion in cash that he can just hand out.
I mean, he's a rich guy, and no doubt he probably helps out.
He helps millions of people just by owning.
But you getting mad because she's not giving.
But he probably doesn't stop and hand money to panhandlers and people just standing on the side of the road.
He probably stops and helps out people who he sees is trying to work hard but can't get it. Like I get with panhandlers, there's a different story. But we're not even going to skim the brim of it because that'll just turn into another topic.
Right.
But like, there's a difference between that and people actually trying to work, trying to find work,
and not just seeking handouts,
right.
And not sitting at home,
right?
For even if they're healthy and able to work. Like I get it, like that. I think that's below a cooler.
Mm-hmm. So and then lastly, 5 is to push yourself. Without pushing yourself to be great, you're obviously not going to get there. So every day, challenge yourself to be uncomfortable. Every day, push yourself past your own mind-created illness or limits, I should say, and soon your old limits will become your new normal, and then so on and so forth. If that makes sense.
This podcast is super new and eerie for all of us.
And we have to push. Sports for us is comfortable.
Yes.
We have to push ourselves as a group to get uncomfortable and to talk about these types of things. And this may seem like awkward to us now, but this will be like a stepping stone for us, if that makes sense.
Yes. I mean, we didn't see, like, especially me, I was like, dude, everybody's going to think we're super cringy.
Mm-hmm. And maybe some people do.
They probably do.
Don't care.
A lot of them, definitely, like, nobody's really friends with us because they want to be, apparently stole their ideas or something like that. But,
Good God.
Just going off of push yourself, I saw this TikTok this one time, and it always stands out to me when people talking about pushing themselves. It's of a guy talking to a group of military soldiers. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about how when you go to boot camp and you're preparing to go into the military and the armed forces, they make you do a bunch of shit that you don't want to do and that sucks. Mm-hmm. Because when you do a bunch of things that you hate doing or that you don't want to do, it causes you to work together collectively as a group.
Yep,
I agree.
Even though you might hate what you're doing, if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's pushing yourself to be better in the long run. There's a reason why so many people that look, or just even people in high school that are like, oh, I don't want to go to the military because it looks like so much work and I would never do that. I'm not saying that there's a right or wrong answer or that someone should or shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. But I think people that go to the military and put themselves through that have a certain mindset that not everybody has.
Yep.
And it's not something that they're born with maybe, but something that is embraced within themselves when they're put through everything that they have to go through when they go through boot camp.
And a lot of them are forced to have that mindset. Because if you don't have that mindset, you're going to get rolled over. In the military, you've got to be the peak. Like,
and a lot of them don't see. They only see the military as their own route, and like good for them.
Yep.
Like, and that's what they want to do. So they don't have a backup plan. This is so they got to suck it up and do it.
Right. 100%.
Like there's just like even with us starting up this thing, we are learning there's more difficulties, like scheduling and trying to get together. And now school's in the way, and Carter's in Arizona for his career, and we got to figure this out. But the whole point of it is to have that mindset to like, we got to keep on going.
Yeah. 100%. And I just wanted to give a few more examples of people that are cleaners not in the sports world. I guess Mark Cuban is in the sports world because now he is an owner, but like Logan and Jake Paul are both cleaners. They don't care. If you want to look more on the entertainment side, KSI is also a cleaner. Let's see. A lot of the millionaires and billionaires, cleaners.
Donald Trump.
Yeah. Like guys like that, and even women like that have stepped up their game and is at the peak performance of whatever they're doing, is going to be a cleaner.
Yeah.
Now, not every successful person that are professional athletes or whatever the case may be is a cleaner. A lot of CEOs nowadays are coolers. They just sit there and they do absolutely nothing.
They're just a face.
Right. They're just a face.
They've got the money.
They do nothing. They collect a check. But in reality, and then don't get me wrong, there's some great CEOs. There's some great people that really work for their company, but a lot of CEOs just kind of sit there and do absolutely nothing and are coolers.
And that's like, don't say like they're completely coolers. At one point, they were probably
they're cleaners or closers, right?
To get up there, but now they don't have to be a cleaner or cooler anymore because they don't have another goal in mind.
Yep.
This was their end game, in which I never agree that when you reach a goal that you should be done, you should set another one.
Right.
But for them, that's why they're coolers now, is because they don't have to be a cleaner or whatever anymore.
Right.
Closer.
100%. And I think, like I said, we're just pointing out people, like famous people, because it's easy to point out, but you can be a cleaner in whatever you want to do. There was a story that Tim talked about in the book where there's this guy that was a sniper that didn't necessarily work for the military but was called upon if he needed to make a shot. What this guy would do is he would drive down and set up this target 400 yards away. He'd come back and then he'd shoot the target, and the target he'd be dead on every time. He would specifically shoot that shot like 7-8 hours a day, over and over and over again. He was perfecting his craft. He was a cleaner. And he didn't care. He was by himself. But it was for that time when he was called upon that if they needed, him to hit a target that's 400 yards away, he was going to do it. So there's cleaners in every definition or whatever, any aspect of life. And
It's Carter.
What up, man?
You want to say hi to the podcast?
Of course, bro. Yo, DownUnder PR. This is Agent Carter Jensen here, coming in, checking in from Arizona. We're out here. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about right now.
We're talking about mindset and why it's important to be the best, pretty much.
You want me to give a little speech?
Yeah, hit us.
All right, mindset, why it's important. All right, have you guys done mostly in real life, or have you gone more in sports?
we've done a little bit of both. Just we're trying
You
to
give us the sports side because you're the
give
athlete
us the sports
here.
side. You're an athlete.
All right. I'll give us the sports side. So, basically, my mindset, and that's I've learned throughout my time being a baseball player, is basically you have to have that killer mindset. And I don't mean that in like the most basic way. I mean it in a more in-depth way. The killer mindset, basically, you gotta want it more, and you have to figure out your position in the sport that you're playing, like where you stand with that sport. Like if you there's three different, I guess, levels. you don't like it, you like it, and you love it. So basically, I learned to be great at something, you have to love it, and you have to, like, breathe it. So basically, my mindset when it comes to this, it's really just to have that killer mindset and to have a different kind of approach to it, and also to kind of stay composed whenever you run into some trouble or you run into struggle. You have to be able to do things that other people aren't good at doing, such as looking that trouble in the face and basically saying screw you, and know that you're bigger than the struggle. So that's my mindset at it, and it's worked for me. And I mean, you can really look at it in real life too. You can have that same mindset. Basically, just in real life, I guess you just take real life situations instead of in sport and have that same mindset to it, and you just hustle. You turn into a hustler. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
You pretty much. I'm gonna kind of go off what Carter. What's up, buddy? I'm gonna kind of go off what Carter was saying, but Carter, going back to what you're saying with that killer mindset, you kind of have to learn not to give a fuck what people think when it comes to that stuff, because once you start caring what people think, then you're not going anywhere, if that makes sense.
exactly. Yeah, like bouncing off of that, you have to be okay with being different.
Yep.
Like, you have to have the mindset
That's a good one.
Like, that literally that people look at you and look at everything you do and how you, like, approach things.
Yep.
Be like, you want them to think, this dude's crazy. Like, what's his problem?
Right. And if they don't think you're crazy, then you're doing something wrong.
Exactly. You gotta have a
Period.
completely different level.
100%. No, I like it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for stopping in, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, bro.
A little unannounced, but it's all right.
Where's Dusty at, man?
I'm out here, man.
What's up, bro?
What up?
Hey, man.
We miss you, man.
We missed you, buddy.
It's here, man. Hey, we'll figure out the way to get this Zoom working.
Oh, for sure.
Try to show Down Under PR viewers my pretty face again, you know?
No, don't worry, they got me.
Oh, yeah.
See you, bud.
All right, see you, buddy.
Well, that was perfect timing.
Yeah, that's a good take, especially from a sports aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you can carry that on to real life. That like you have to be different
Right.
to succeed. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to end up where everybody else is.
Right.
You want to be at the top. Well, that's why there's only a 1% bracket, because they're all different.
Yeah, and like what I was saying earlier is like, if people aren't questioning what you're doing, and if people aren't thinking that you're freaking crazy at what you're doing, thinking you have crazy ass ideas, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
You're not. And another good quote by Tim: "A cooler is the first to arrive at the celebration, the last to leave. A closer will make an appearance and go out with his own crew, and then a cleaner just wants to get back to work." So like, there's stories about like Michael and Kobe and stuff that whenever they won a championship, it would be like 10 minutes afterwards, and they'd already be back in the gym. You know what I mean? Like getting back to work.
Jordan Baker, who's next?
Us, remember?
I was wondering why you're over there smiling. Is that what you were thinking about the whole time?
When Jake and I were in when was that? Late February, March. We ended up being state champs, but the year before we had a very disappointing. Both of us individually. I made it on stage. I don't know about him, but guess what? We joined up. Well, he joined me, and
got a ring.
But yeah, I mean, like when we were doing that, we kept on. We won a medal. We're like, okay, but we really wanted the big boy.
Right.
I remember when we were in Mags. I know Mags has that video. I need to ask him for that video. But you and I jumped up so fast when we saw we were number one.
But again, like that was your guys' end goal, and that's
I know, but I was already sitting down. I'm like, I want that big trophy.
That wasn't our end goal, though. Our end goal was ICDC.
right.
But we qualified.
But that was just a stepping stone.
We qualified, but it was a rough day.
Then Ontario DECA cheated us. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
All foreigners too, dude.
Ontario DECA cheats. If you know, you know.
I know.
Shout out Corinne for tutoring that kid, but they still cheated.
Yeah. But it's like, so like going back to keeping this mindset, it's like you want to be a cleaner, but being a cleaner 24/7 might not be beneficial for you.
None of these guys, none of these people, like that's why a lot of these professional athletes that are cleaners fight to keep their home lives together, because that's their spot that they can relax. Mm-hmm. Because everyone needs a spot to relax, and home for a lot of these guys are the places for that.
Having a cleaner mindset is awesome for you.
Mm-hmm.
But having a cleaner mindset 24/7 and only, that's a workaholic.
That will drive you insane.
That will drive you insane. That will drive everybody around you away from you.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, he doesn't care about us. He only cares about his job.
Yeah.
And good for him, but there's more to life than your job.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're being the best. You're making this money, but what do you have to show for it?
Yeah, at the end of the day.
And who are you going home to? What are you going home to?
Sometimes it's okay to be it's okay to be selfish in your own way, because a lot of the time, we're taught as little kids to like not be selfish, to all this stuff, but it's okay to be selfish, because a lot of the times when you're selfish and you're pushing yourself to be the best,
nothing's given to you.
Right, and it makes the people around you better. They're like, holy crap, this guy's all the way up here. Now I need to lift my level up a little bit. And I don't know.
That's why I want to take it back to Jake, because Jake has definitely lifted it up more than us. Mm-hmm. And obviously it's not that we're lazy. It's just when we want to play or we want to sleep, he's doing his work.
Right.
So, I mean,
that's a good thing to have.
I mean, we can go in and talk about what we each have or think we do to be a cleaner, closer, and cooler. And I can start it off being, if we want to start with cleaner. I've recently gotten to the mindset that I don't give a fuck what somebody thinks about me. Mm-hmm. And that's just point blank period.
You ugly.
Okay. I'm glad you think that way.
We do not care.
I think it's a great mindset to have, because once you are in that mindset, you basically are just one-track minded. You don't care what anybody thinks about you, and that's a great feeling to have, because there's so much outside noise going on in the world, especially in this society that we're growing up in. Everybody cares so much about what everybody thinks about them, how they are perceived in society, and what people think when they look at them and they see them on social media, posting pictures, laughing, smiling. When in reality, shit's just not that pretty, and it's an unattainable goal to hold yourself to that standard that you need to be that person that's always posting pictures on Instagram, being smiling, being laughing, posting with people that you want to be seen with.
Because that's not the truth.
Because that's not real, and that's not legit, and that's why you have to realize that at the end of the day, you are yourself. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter if Hassan thinks that Jake is ugly.
Right.
If Jake thinks that Jake is cute, then that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, if I can hit my head on the pillow and think that way and have that mindset, I'll be perfectly fine, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be perfectly fine.
I'm cute.
Right.
I'm cute. I am cute.
Writing it down on a piece of paper over and over and over. I am cute. I am cute.
No, but you're totally right. And I am, as somebody who grew up with you a little bit, not obviously your entire life, but somebody who grew up with you, it's awesome to see you grow that mindset.
I think a lot of people, it just happens at different stages for them, if that makes sense. Like for you, your cleaner mindset's happening now. Like you realize, I think you got to a certain point, you're like, okay, the shit that I'm doing now is not working out for me, and so I need to move it and step it up.
Well, I got to the point where I was like, I'm doing all this stuff right now, great. What can I do that'll help me in the future?
Right.
Obviously, I'm not at a big school, so I'm not doing as much. But even in high school, I was always trying to find something new that I could do to help promote all of our sports teams, to do anything to help make our school a better place, to make us look better.
Right.
Because Park Hill honestly doesn't have the greatest public image in the eye of many people around us.
No, not
and when you think about it, that kind of sucks.
Go Trojans!
But that was something that I really tried to help make a difference on whenever I was in high school. And now that I'm in the real world, there's just a whole nother list of things that I'm trying to do to help.
And honestly, everybody. I see that, and like I'm with you on there. I see that where we work. Mm-hmm. Like
Creekside.
We like more Jake than me, but like he's in the group chat texting what we can do to make this place better. Mm-hmm. And like it sucks because am I gonna get sued if I say stuff?
I don't think so.
As long as we have we have very cheap people at the top who treat Creekside as a little brother who
I'd be
gets
careful
ignored.
saying all this, by the way.
You said what?
I'd be careful.
Yeah, I know. Who treat Creekside as a little brother. I actually said this to the vice president. I said, you guys treat this place as a little brother who gets ignored. No, and I don't mean like cheap, but like the pockets are deep enough to make this place better, but it won't be done. So like that's where I see that. Like you're carrying that on to real life.
My bad.
What? Oh.
I don't know what just happened, but I started laughing at it.
Oh, but the Nuggets came all the way back.
But you get what I'm saying.
No, I
Picking up what you're
understand.
putting
I
down.
100% understand. And I think that
My colleagues would agree. My
Yeah.
colleagues.
no, but like that makes like I think that happens a lot in
It definitely
In the
does.
workplace with everybody.
like and like that if obviously we have not gotten fully into the work world, but I feel like we're going to see just even more and more of that as we get deeper and deeper and into the does that make sense?
Yeah. Not Andy Irvin will be making comments throughout the summer.
But I think that I don't know. I think that the main idea here is just to not care what people think and do what you want to do
and do it better.
and do it better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, there's always someone out there that's working harder than you. So the time that you think, oh, I'm sore today, I don't want to go work out, or oh, it's too late, or oh, whatever. Well, guess what? Someone else is waking up and earlier than you, and putting three. He's already got 3 workouts in, or whatever the case may be, and you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Because you're sore. Well, now when it gets to this point to where they're picking that person, and they pick that person over you,
That's what sets you apart.
that's what sets you apart.
It's the nobody cares work harder.
Exactly.
So like with me, last semester in school, I did terrible in all aspects. School, student, friend, son-wise, I was terrible in all aspects. I was not there mentally. I was not there physically. I took all online courses and I sucked. So this semester, I was like, I'm more myself. And it sucks because I took a lot of in-person classes, and now I'm sitting home virtually. So thanks, COVID. But I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud that I was not the friend, brother, who knows, I don't know, like person I can be. And I could have been better, and I could have had that mindset that like what I was so in deep about does not matter in the long run.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter in the long run. I could have started this back in September, and we could have been bigger.
Right. I think
I could have applied to bigger colleges. Now I'm stuck at community college.
going on to school, though, I think there's some things in school that are good. But if you think about it, I saw this TikTok, and I gotta remember it. But school does not teach you how to be successful in life. Like, think about it this way. They tell you there's only one right answer. There's multiple right answers when it comes to certain
And there's
things.
multiple ways to get that answer.
And they say, oh, well, figure it out on your own. Well, in the real world, you got to cooperate with your workforce and the people around you.
Yeah.
And that's just 2 of the things that they do wrong. And don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing school and saying don't go to school, because there are, like I said, plenty of aspects that you need in life, whether it be
This
in
goes
middle
back
school.
to 2 episodes ago when I was talking about how what I meant was the big schools, you go there if you know what you want to do. But you see all these people changing their majors 5, 6, 7 times.
There's no point.
They like, why?
You're just wasting your money.
You're
at
wasting.
that
You're
point.
only there to party.
Yep.
Like, there's no point.
You're wasting your money at that point. And then, yeah.
No, you're right. It's all about a mindset at the end of the day, which is why I like how you found the 3 C's.
Yeah.
It's
And I would encourage. I know there's some people that don't. I keep interrupting you,
No,
but I
you're
know
good.
there's some.
I'll
Were you
interrupt
laughing
you
at
right
that, or were
back.
you laughing?
Yeah, I was laughing because Jokic fell back.
There are. I know there's some of you that don't like reading, but this book, for me anyway, was interesting because, it obviously had a sports side to it, but it just talked about the mindset and like what you had to do to be successful.
Fell into the dude behind.
And I don't know, you can take it with a grain of salt or you can take it full steam. And I mean, there's going to be certain things that you have to do in life that needs to be changed. So like I was telling these guys earlier before we started this episode that, what are you doing?
I didn't do nothing.
Christmas again or what?
I didn't do nothing.
You know, there are some things like, okay, for instance, people want to change their looks and like gain weight or lose weight or whatever. They just want to, feel healthier. But yet they don't want to
go to the gym or
they don't want to go to the gym or they don't want to change their diet. So there are going to have to be things, if you want to be a cleaner, there has to be things that you have to sacrifice, and it's not going to be an easy road.
And when you're doing that, it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's not. And a lot of people think that that's why I think there's a lot of people in life that don't succeed because they automatically think that this is just going to happen overnight, and when it doesn't happen overnight, they just forget about it and they move on from it, and then they're back to where they were before, and it's just a constant cycle.
Like with us, like, and we're like, it sucks because we had 2 videos get 1,500 views, and then our last video get like 50,
right?
And the one before gets like 200. Then we get another we'll probably get another 1,000 sometime.
But it's consistency, and as long as we keep doing this, the end goal, obviously, the end goal will be will be there for us.
We should do a giveaway.
What are we gonna give away?
Yeah, what are we gonna give away?
Gift card.
Carter Jensen signed something.
Hassan Aga signed something. Signed Mike.
Signed Mike. You're gonna go buy another
signed
mic.
New York Yankees sign.
We'll give him the poster. I'm getting a new one anyway.
True. Can sign the whole group can sign it.
I want to do a live one soon though.
That's fine.
Maybe we can do it on Chiefs game.
Point being is, I don't know if you want to end it off here, but point being is here, strive to be a cleaner in anything you do. There are many definitions of being successful, but strive to be a cleaner and strive to not care what people think, because in this world there are a lot of people that
be a Jake in the world.
There are a lot. Agreed.
You are cute.
Be a lot of people. There are a lot of people that think they're everyone else's opinion around them matters, when in reality it's your opinion, and you lay down the bed you make. So go out there, go get it, and yeah.
Make the most of your opportunities on this life, because it's only temporary.
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
for watching. We'll catch you in a few days.
Make sure to subscribe down low and check out our
spam up the Jake is cute in the chat.
Peace.